Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Today I'm going to show you how to make a necklace and earrings to match using some unusual colors from a random generator. So for the last couple of weeks I have been involved with a collaboration or a challenge to make things, and so far they've all been earrings from some unusual colors that Brittany's Beads has been sharing with us. She has actually been going over to Random Generator and just generating random colors. Today when I got up, these were the colors. She's calling this a mauve, and then she's calling the green a brown green, which is kind of like a khaki green. And so when I went to look at my beads today and I saw this bead, I'm like, it was a perfect match. Well, with this project, it's actually a 100-day project, I have been making earrings. And I only had one of these. Plus the fact that it is kind of big for an earring. But I really, really wanted to use this. So today I thought, well, I guess I'm going to be making a pendant, a necklace. But then I found these little beads here, which are pretty close to that color. So we're going to make earrings and a necklace. For the necklace, you will need a teardrop bead that is drilled at the top. Where are the holes? They're right there at the top here. Here. Like that. You're going to need, this is probably I'm not good at estimating, but I think this may be a 6mm or 8mm bead. But just a bead that's going to look good size-wise on top there. You'll need some wire. I have 20 gauge. We're going to do antique brass today, and this is 20 gauge. You need to make sure that your beads are actually going to fit on your wire and it's not too thin. Antique brass chain. You need a ruler so you can measure out your chain. You need a couple of, whoops, sorry, bumped y'all. I'm going to use some bead caps. I love bead caps. And then I'm going to use a toggle clasp, and because I'm using a toggle clasp, I am going to need some jump rings. You will need a couple of flat nose pliers, round nose pliers, and wire cutters. Those are just your basics that you need for every project when it comes to jewelry. I'm also going to be trying out this new gadget. I actually have several of these. And I forgot I had them until I was digging around in my stash this morning. And I'm like, you know what? I need to use this instead of using my fingernails. All right, let's get to creating. The first thing I did was I cut about 6 inches of my wire. And I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to stick it through my top drilled bead here. And we're going to make a bail. And they do not have to be even, but you want them pretty even. And I'm just going to cross them over so I have about that much room, because you want a little bit of movement. And you want to be careful, you don't want to crack your bead. Okay? And then you're just going to twist once. This particular bead I have here is not going to fit on 2 wires, so I'm just going to put it on one of the strands here. And I'll usually do it on the longest, well, the shortest actually. Let me see, which they're about the same length. But if one's longer than the other, put it on the shorter one. And then you're going to continue to twist these 2 wires. I just pull this bead down and try to hold it. And try to get this as tight as you can, but you want to make sure it's not going to be tight where you might scratch or break your bead. And then you just twist. And sometimes my twisting looks really, really neat. And sometimes it doesn't, and it really doesn't matter because you're not going to be able to tell once you go to the next step. All right, so then you're going to fiddle with it until you can get it how you like it. And then you're going to take your round nose pliers, or to be honest with you, if you've got one of these, I like to use these because with the round nose pliers, these are great, but they go from skinny to fat. And when you're doing multiple things and you want your loops to be consecutive in size, it's hard unless you mark them. And even then, it's hard to get them the exact size, all of them. So when I'm doing my bales and stuff, a lot of times I will use this. Since I'm using a finer chain, I'm going to use this skinnier one for my bale. And you're just going to clamp it like this. You bring down your excess wire like so. And then you're just going to wrap it around. And I like to do messy wraps. And with the excess wire that you have here, just take one at a time and keep wrapping them around and tucking these ends as you go. All right, I've got them all tucked in there, and guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the bead caps on there. You know what though? That's okay. We just won't use the bead caps. Sometimes that happens. All right, now let's go tend to our chain. This is when you need your ruler. I'm going to whip out my toggle clasp and my jump rings, and where's my little instrument here? And this is pretty cool, little instrument. Let's see. You just see they have different little slits. You just take your, see, it doesn't fit in there. Oh, there it fits in that one. And you're going to open up your jump ring. Go ahead and put all your stuff you need on your jump ring, and then you can close it back. How about that? Isn't that pretty cool? So we need about 18 inches. That's an 18-inch necklace is the size that most necklaces are. Most everybody can wear an 18-inch necklace. Personally, I like mine to be about 16 inches, but I'm pretty small through the top. Not so much at the bottom, but my top is pretty small. But 18-inch does work on me too. All right, so 18 inches. Here we go. Go ahead and clip off my excess. Going to open this jump ring. Put the other side of the toggle in. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and put my pendant on. And put the chain onto my jump ring. Close up my toggle. Close up my jump ring. And we have a finished necklace. How about that? Pretty easy, huh? And I love the way this antique brass looks with this. Very nice. One thing about toggles, I like them, but you need to make sure that whatever you're using them on has a little bit of weight to it, because if you don't, they will not be secure. This one has enough weight that it is going to be secure. Now for our earrings, and hopefully I'll remember to put these guys on. So what you need is your head pins, and one thing I want to make sure when I look at these holes, I hope they're not going to be too big and fall off. And I think they're going to be fine. Sometimes the little flat part at the bottom is not big enough, and your bead or whatever you're putting on first will fall off. And that's why I like to use the little tiny seed beads. And I don't have any in antique brass, and I do not want to mix my metals today. All right, so you put on your bead cap, then your bead, and then the opposite bead cap. So you want them to hug. And then a little bead on top. And then the way you make an earring is use your flat nose pliers. And this is just going to be very simple. There's not going to be any wrapping. But I make an L. And then I usually use my finger. And I'll cut this piece off. You want to make sure you hang on to that, because if not, this guy can fly. Then you need your round nose pliers. And I try to go with the top here. And I'm just going to curve it like so. Let me do the other one. We have a bead cap, a big bead, the other bead cap, the little bead, flat nose pliers, bend your wire into an L, measure with your finger, clip it off, set that aside. Bend your wire in, okay. Then the way you put them on your wire is, let me close this up a little bit more. Okay, you're going to open it up, feed your ear wire in there, close it up. The same thing with the other one. And I'm going to go back later here in a little bit when we're done and make sure that those are actually closed all the way. You don't want your beads to fall off. But here is the little set. Came out very nicely. And you know, even though I did forget to put the bead caps on there, that's fine. They still look really nice together. I hope you understood everything, and go make you a necklace and earring set. Go to randomgenerator.org and generate you some colors and have fun with it. Anyway, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Mostly though, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.